What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Bob Arum, Terence Crawford, and Kell Brook. And Arum once again slams the UK networks, okay? And this is what he had to say. He says, these networks don't give a crap about the boxing fans except to grub money. He says, well, again, it's up to you people that represent the boxing fans to make a fuss, because what's happening now is a disgrace to boxing, especially in a country that has the best rapid boxing fans, and that's in the UK and in Ireland. Okay, now, funny thing, what Bob is pissed off about, and he should be, we have two major fights. One's definitely going to happen, and that's Teofimo Lopez versus Vasil High-Tech Lomachenko. That won't be picked up in the UK anywhere, okay? The next and latest fight that we know that won't be picked up is Kell Brook versus Terence Crawford, which it's retarded because Kell Brook is a British fighter, so why aren't you televising that in the UK? So Bob has a point with that, okay? The Charlos, okay, none of the Charlo fights on Showtime were picked up in the UK. Now, if it's Dillian White and Chisora, Showtime will pick that up, but then it's not like that the other way around. Joshua Klitschko was picked up by Showtime. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this? So it's like, it's a Kell Brook isn't a big enough star, maybe, because he was supposed to be a star, but by taking piss poor decisions, by going up to 160 and fighting an unbeaten tough Golovkin, and then going back down to, and then getting damaged in that fight, then going back down to one of the toughest, hungriest welterweights that we had at the time, and Errol Spence Jr. possibly still is, but we don't know that to be true yet. But he was hungry at the time, and both of them did some true damage to Kell Brook. Now, third time's a charm for Terence Crawford. I feel this is my counterpunch. Terence Crawford is the best fighter in the world right now. Eddie Hearn knows that. Eddie Hearn knows that, because that's who manages Kell Brook, by the way. If you guys don't know, now you know. And I think just like Eddie Hearn did not want Amir Khan to fight Terence Crawford, I don't think he cares for Kell Brook to. So if he doesn't care for him to do, he's not going to put his energy into making it a spectacle or promoting it, because he doesn't see a positive outcome for Kell Brook. That's what I honestly believe, because I think what Eddie did was, Eddie was like, I didn't want Amir Khan to go over there and fight him, and Terence Crawford made him quit, okay? So why would I take Kell Brook, another fighter, over there to mess with Terence Crawford? And then if you look at it in hindsight, you're looking at the UK, and we had Lomachenko versus Campbell. Sure, Campbell's a British fighter, but so is Kell Brook. I know it was in England, but in hindsight, I think that the UK should support any fighter that's from the UK. Some network should, if it's BT, if it's Matchroom, or Sky Sports, those guys should pick it up. Something, somewhere should air it. Pay-per-view, whatever, right? I think that fight needs to have enough exposure, because who's to know? Kell Brook could go in there and fight the fight of his life. Who knows? This is boxing, people. But I think what it is that the UK is not getting involved because of the influence of the promoter. Eddie Hearn is the big fish over there. Everybody knows that. He's towering over Queensberry with Frank Warren. Frank Warren's been around longer, but Eddie Hearn is that new blood. So he knows, hey, I'm not going to promote this fight, because the question you ask yourself, it's not that he's not promoting, it's why isn't he promoting that fight? I just gave you guys a pretty good counterpunch. It's because he doesn't believe that Kell Brook can fight. Kell Brook's trainer, out of 9 years, decided, nope, I'm not going in there with you on this one, kid. You're on your own. Wow. The last time I seen that, and it was all bad signs, the last time I seen a situation like that was when Nassim Richardson and Bernard Hopkins parted ways, when Bernard decided to fight that killer-ass Kovalev. I'm not talking about the drunk one that beats women now. I'm talking about the Kovalev that was killing people. I'm talking about that dude. And Hakeem Richardson was like, I'm not doing it. So all the signs are bad for Kell Brook. And I feel sorry for Kell Brook. I feel sorry for the sport of boxing that the networks don't believe in a particular fighter from a particular origin to even promote the fight in his country. In UK, it's right. UK is the biggest country for boxing. You have less sports to compete with, unlike over here. So boxing is amplified more, okay? It's covered more. That's why I love it over there, because it's more things than enthusiasm. The fire is over there. And I think people are being robbed when the UK networks, for whatever reason, don't put this fight up. Okay? And it's crazy. And I think it's sad. And Bob, in this case, is absolutely right. Now, I know Bob wants to make the money or whatever, but it's all about how you market something. If you're refusing to market a particular fight or fights, you're hindering boxing. Counterpunch. You don't supposed to hinder boxing. You're supposed to exploit boxing. That's why I don't understand why PBC doesn't talk about other fighters from other places. It's boxing. It's not big. It's not big like people think it is. If everybody would come together and make these fights, we can rejuvenate boxing for the next 5 to 10 years if they did it right. Okay? And two wrongs don't make a right. Okay, you hear people blasting the zone over here and don't get it on an app, and what is this? Why is it on an app on your phone or whatever? We don't do that. I'm used to television, live stream, networks, okay, so we don't want the zone. Oscar De La Hoya, you know what? I don't like Al Heyman putting boxing on free TV. I'm going to sue him. Hating. Once again, hating. Now, we're not going to promote the Terence Crawford versus Kell Brook fight in the UK. We're not going to promote Teofimo Lopez versus Vasyl Lomachenko in the UK. Hating. And you're hating on the sport of boxing. So I'm with Bob on this one. Stop doing that. But in the same token, everyone needs to cut the bullshit. Bob Arum in particular, him too, because he stops good fights from happening. Eddie Hearn, if he's behind this, he's stopping good fights from happening. Okay? And Al Heyman, Uncle Al, is doing the same thing, stopping fights from happening. We need to come together and make these fights happen. Stop hating on the sport of boxing. Get these fights exposed. Networks, pick up these fights. Okay, support your countrymen, support your fighter. Give your fighter some confidence. Because if I'm Kell Brook right now, I'm looking at it like, well, damn, my trainer don't want this. My fucking promoter don't want this. And no network wants this. My country don't want this. It's crazy, man. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Bob Arum's rant and mine. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.